Hey everyone, welcome to Wax Pack Wisdom. I'm Jake T. O'Donnell. Today, I'm gonna kind of just talk for a little bit at first. Not a typical video for me where I kind of get right into what I'm gonna show and talk about, but I am gonna show some cards today. I'm gonna get back to the series that I started a long time ago when I started this channel of going through the cards in my childhood collection. I have the binder right here. This is the binder that we got from my dad and I got in the early 90s that most of my childhood collection cards from the mid 40s all the way up to the mid 90s were in this. And I went through the first 2 pages in the binder in videos. And I don't think I've done a video like this in maybe a year or close to a year, but I want to get back to doing it and going through the rest of the cards in this. And I'm going to try to go through a couple of pages in this. Part of the impetus for doing this is because I do want to replace the pages in this binder because they're pretty old. They've been in these actual binder pages in this have been in this for in some cases over 30 years. So I want to put the cards in fresh binder pages and cycle those ones out. And I just want to go through and show you guys the cards that I collected, the cards that I had as a kid, the cards that got me into vintage collecting in the first place. That my dad and I collected and got mostly from the card shops in the North Conway, New Hampshire area. Occasionally we would travel to a card show, but for the most part it was stuff that we would get locally. So it's a lot of Red Sox cards usually, and then cards from that I get from packs and things like that. But so we'll get into that. We'll get into that in a minute. I just wanted to kind of come on and chat for a few minutes. I don't have any mail to show today. And I might have some stuff that comes in kind of the beginning of next week. I don't really think I'm going to get anything new this week. It's possible that by the end of this week I'll get something new, but and I'm recording this on Tuesday. Earlier today I posted a video of ripping a 1983 Michigan Topps Michigan test pack, so that was fun. So check that out, and we'll do 59 Topps later this week as always. Might be going to the cardboard promotion show in Dedham on President's Day. Not positive if that's going to work out in the schedule yet. Not a lot of big card shows on the horizon here, and that was kind of one of the things I wanted to mention, which was just like I kind of came into the year with these big plans in terms of collecting and things I wanted to add. And obviously we went to the White Plains show and it was great, and I had budget for that and it was spent there. And obviously this year started with a bang as well, right? Like I got the Walter Johnson T206 card back from SGC that I had sent to Reholder, and then I made the big trade to get the T206 Cobb. And things have slowed a little bit since then, and there are some reasons for that. I don't want to get into the specific reasons, but I would say that for the time being, just some life things have come up, and I think that my big spending on cards is going to be on hold for a bit. And I think what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do is really enjoy the smaller things and try to collect some of the smaller things. And I made 2 eBay purchases over the weekend that's kind of what I'm talking about, like cards that are going to come in the mail in the next couple days, maybe the next week or so, that are not big dollar cards, but cards that I'm really psyched about getting, that were kind of on my big list of cards that I wanted to get. I think on Saturday I did send out another SGC submission, and that included a card that I won in the Collector Connection auction from the weekend before that I haven't mentioned on the channel. I think I did mention it on Greg's live stream on Midlife Cards last week. I have finished the 61 Fleer Celtics run. I did acquire the Bill Russell in action card. So I got it in a PSA slab. And as all of the other cards in the run are in SGC slabs, I put that card to be crossed over to SGC. And it was just a 5-card order with 2 other cards from that 61 Fleer Celtics run, and then 2 other cards that you've seen on the channel previously. So hoping to get that back by the end of next week, maybe a little bit later, depending on when SGC gets it. I was hoping that they were going to get it today. That was the initial hope, but it's USPS is moving at their pace, so hopefully have an SGC order coming in soon and that. So anyway, so I've talked for enough. I'm going to try to show at least maybe 1, maybe 2 pages from the binder here, so you can see again the cards from when I was a kid. And and I'm going to put them in fresh binder pages, and we'll go from there. All right, so I pulled 2 pages of the binder out, and this first one has 9 cards on it, and they were all either guys with the Red Sox when they were there, like playing for the Red Sox, or they had previously played with the Red Sox. So the first 4 cards are all from 61 Tops. So the first one is Frank Malzone, great third baseman for the Red Sox, 61 Tops, a little bit off center, but a really nice card. He was a kind of a regular all-star. I think I had mentioned on 59 Tops Friday that he was kind of the star that bridged the gap between the sort of great years of Ted Williams and then the great years of Carl Yastrzemski. He played with both guys, again, an all-star year over year, and then he spent a lot of years working for the Red Sox as a coach and a scout. So this is a nice one from my childhood collection. Next is a local guy to Boston, was Bill Mombiquette. He was from Medford. I think maybe he lived in Gloucester in the years later, but then he pitched for a few other teams too. But he was kind of really kind of the star pitcher of those Red Sox teams in the 60s. I think this is number 562. I think this is a high number. But anyway, nice card. We again covered him on 59 Tops Friday as well. And then the next 61 Tops one is Pete Runnels, who is a former batting champion. I think we very recently covered him on 59 Tops Friday. And he was a good second baseman, first baseman type. I think he won the batting title in 1960. He hit 320. He had also hit 322 in 1958. He was a guy that when he came to the Red Sox, Ted Williams took him under his wing, and he kind of learned how to be a really good hitter there. And then the last one is Gary Geiger, who was he was an outfielder, and you're going to see him again in a minute here, but yeah, he's a high number in the 59 Top set, so we haven't gotten to him yet. But yeah, these are really clean 61s that we had from many years ago. All right, and then we got another Bill Mombiquette. This is from sort of, I think, near the end of his career, his 69 Tops card. And you can see that the hat is blacked out there because this was a picture that they took when I think maybe he was with the Yankees. Yeah, so it's 68, he's with the Yankees. And then he goes to the Giants later in that year, and then he might, like I said, might be kind of at the end of his run. And it mentions here on the back of this card that in 62, Mombiquette, he threw a no-hitter against the against the White Sox. 1962, Bill tossed a no-hitter at the White Sox. So for the Red Sox against the White Sox, he threw a no-hitter in 1962. So there you go. And then we got another Pete Runnels card. This is kind of a lower grade 58. So it's a good card there. And then the cards in the last row of the ones from this page, there's 3 more. There's another Gary Geiger, his 1960 Top, so we'll do the horizontal. Again, a little off center, but the 60s are tough. But again, very sharp card. Again, we took care of these cards. My dad taught me a lot about how to care for cards. And then if you've watched the channel from the beginning, you've seen this card before. This is the last 2 cards are Walt Dropo cards, and I have Walt Dropo's rookie. I showed that. It was on the first page of the book, but this is his 59 Tops card, and this was my first and actually only 59 Tops card in my binder growing up as a kid. And I showed this exact card when I explained why I was starting to do the 59 Tops set and build it. I have a different, this was originally, or when I built the 59 Tops set, I had this in the binder, this card in the 59 Tops binder, but I got a new one and took it out and put this one back in the old binder. So there you go. And then the last one of those 9 is his 1960 Tops card when he was with the Orioles. So there you go. So those are 9 cards that I had from when I was a kid, and learning about these sets. So then I'll go to the next page as well. So just give me 1 second. I'll take those ones out. All right. So then the next group, there's just 8 cards that I'm going to show. One is actually in a slab. I got it graded, and one of the 9 cards is a Yaz card that's in my Yaz PC binder, which you've probably seen it before. But the first one I'll show is we're on into the 70s. So this is 71 Jim Cott. So this was obviously I got this card well before he was elected to the Hall of Fame, but actually like a really nice 71 Jim Cott. It's got like a crease down here, but it's a nice one. Next is one of the bigger ones from when I was a kid that we got, and it's this. It's Ted Williams. It's Ted from when he was managing the Senators, and ended up managing them when they moved to Texas to become the Rangers. There's some creasing on this. You can kind of see. It's like right up by his name. I don't know if you can make that out. It's like right there. But this was always a cool card for me to have as a kid. I didn't have a lot of Ted Williams cards. I think I had showed in the very first video that I did of some of the Fleer Ted Williams stuff. And then there's going to be 3 Red Sox team cards that you see here that basically, if you look at the binder page, there were the 3 cards on the edge on the right. So the first is the 77 Red Sox team card with Don Zimmer as the manager. And then there's the checklist on the back. So that's cool. The next card, I had there's 2 mini Minoso cards that were next to each other. The first one was actually this one that I got graded by PSA. And this was one of those ones that I thought, the 63, that I thought was going to grade better than it did. But I was expecting, because of the centering and everything, I thought it was pretty well centered, that it was going to get maybe a 5 or a 6. But it only got a 3. And I think I didn't realize that there was some creasing on the back here, but this was one of my childhood cards that I did end up sending to PSA. So and you might see a few more of these as we go through, but this was the one I always liked, of the great Cuban star Manny Minoso. And then next to that in the binder was this 77 record breakers of Minoso, the oldest player to hit safely. So it was obviously a Bill Veeck sort of publicity stunt, but born November 22, Manny turns 54 years of age later this year. He got a designated hitter of the White Sox, singled today, lined a single to left field to become the oldest player in Major League Baseball to hit safely, September 12, 1976. Previously, the oldest player to hit safely was Nick Altrock, who pinch hit a single for the Senators in 1929. He was 53 when he did that. So again, kind of a Bill Veeck publicity stunt. And then he also hit professionally, I think, in the 1980s as well. So it was something that they tried to do decade over decade during his lifetime. But what a great player Minoso was, and certainly deserving to be in the Hall of Fame. Next is the 78 Red Sox team card. So there you go. The fateful year in the playoff in 78, but they did not quite do it, thanks to none other than Bucky Dent. Next is from the 76 set. So I finished building this set. This is one that's actually in really nice shape. This is from the Sporting News All-Time Greats era. The area of the set. This is the Honus Wagner. So it was kind of cool as a kid to say that I had a Honus Wagner card. I think that was, probably part of the impetus for why they did this. And there's a bunch of other ones. There's like Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig and a bunch of others in that part of the set. So that's cool. And then I mentioned that I think the next card in the binder page in the middle is my 87 Topps Yaz Turn Back the Clock that has the 67 Topps card on it. So that's in my Yaz binder. And then the last is the 79 Red Sox team checklist. So there you go. Just showing off some stuff from the cards that made me fall in love with baseball and baseball history as a kid. And let me know who are some of the guys that you like to collect when you were a kid. What are some of the cards that you have in your childhood binder, and do you still have it? Are you still able to look through it, or are they kind of lost to the ages? That's unfortunately that does happen sometimes. So thanks for watching. I know this wasn't like maybe the most exciting video, but I just love to share my cards, and I love to talk about cards with you guys, and hopefully more good things to come. Like I said, 59 Topps Friday this week. Probably more mail, maybe probably more like next week. SGC maybe by the end of next week, I don't know. And we'll see what else comes up. So thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out our ComC store to see if there's anything in there that you might like. Please follow us on all social media channels below, and also check out our list of favorite nonprofits and charities. It would mean a lot if you could support one of them. So thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Wax Back Wisdom. Take care.